Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
Atisa is a Chamorro word meaning to increase the speed, the glow of light, to illuminate. It's also the name given to the new undersea communications cable to be built by DOCOMO Pacific. Company president and CEO Jonathan Kriegel says the cable will connect Guam and the CNMI and also raise the level of telecommunications throughout the Northern Marianas.
I think that when you look at the kinds of services and the internet speeds, the kind of cable television experience, the kind of mobile phone experience that exists sort of 150 short miles away here on Guam, and you compare it to what's available in the CNMI, it's hard to believe that the disparity is quite so large in 2016, and we're going to work hard to help close that gap.
Japan's NEC won the contract to build the cable. Kriegel says they are a market leader in these types of systems. What may surprise you is the size of the cable. It's not even as thick as a normal garden hose, but the size belies its capacity.
The cable itself, you can see this is lightweight cable. This is the kind of cable that they would use in the deepest water. And right at the heart, at the center of that cable, you can see that we have, let me bring them out, these very, very thin fibers. These are pairs of fibers. This is really glass that's got a plastic shielding around it. And each one of those strands can carry more data than we can imagine. So on the first day that we turn up the cable, one of those pairs will carry 100 gigabits of traffic between Guam and Saipan.
What exactly is 100 gigabits? It's a lot. Kriegel provides some perspective.
Just to give you a sense of how much traffic that is, today between Guam and the mainland of the United States, we only carry about 40 gigabits of traffic in our whole business across all of our networks. So on the day that we turn up Atisa in May next year, we'll have 2.5 times that capacity just going to the CNMI.
The cable is expected to be completed by late next year. Kriegel says it will not only bring more services for consumers, it will bring more jobs to the islands, and not just during construction, but after completion as well.
Obviously, we'll need more retail stores, we'll need more call center associates, we'll need more people in the back office. And that will create jobs both in the CNMI and some additional jobs here on Guam, because we'll do some of our core network switching for the CNMI from Guam. So this will really drive sort of job creation in both markets.
And while DOCOMO's Guam to CNMI cable is a relatively short run, more companies that are building long-run trans-Pacific cables are eyeing Guam as a landing station.
We're blessed by our geography, the southern route across the Pacific. On submarine cables, the thing you're trying to do is to minimize latency, the amount of time it takes for the light to travel across those fiber pairs. And the southern route is an efficient route, low latency.
99% of international data is transmitted by undersea ocean cables. There are almost 300 different communication cables running along the ocean floor.
Guam happens to be very, very well positioned, both for submarine cables going north-south out of Australia, trying to make it into North Asia, Japan, but especially east-west, coming out of the high-growth economies of Southeast Asia who want to connect to the United States, or even cables and traffic that want to connect to China, but want to avoid some of the routes in northern Asia, more earthquakes, more chances for disruption from fishing vessels. So Guam has got about 8 cables now, and there's at least one new one coming next year, and there are more to follow.
For KUAM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Licanto.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.